I am a publisher, writer, editor, daughter, sister, auntie, dog mom, and many other things, including currently a cancer patient. But I am not a doctor or medical professional of any sort. What you are about to watch is an episode of my journey through cancer. I'm sharing my adventure with you in hopes that you'll find something here that's comforting and maybe even inspiring. This video is not intended to provide any sort of diagnosis or treatment plan. Please go talk with your doctor for professional medical advice.
So, every chemo week, I get a 20-minute or so infusion of one drug, and then I wear a pump for the rest of the week. That gives me an infusion of a second drug over a 96-hour period. When I arrived for my appointment on my last day of chemo today, last day of the pump infusion, I had 8 minutes more to go before the 96 hours was up. So I waited out the 8 minutes in one of the chemo loungers, and it was the longest 8 minutes of my life. The chemo room is cold, and my nurse brought me a heated blanket, and that's normally a really cozy thing, but it didn't seem to help much today. I don't know quite how to describe the sensation I was experiencing, but the closest I can come is that it felt as if I were a teenager and on the verge of a really wicked, crampy period. But the pump was finally disconnected, and then I had another radiation treatment. The radiation treatment is normally not terribly eventful and not uncomfortable at all. Radiation doesn't hurt while it's actually happening. It's only later when the burns start. But in order to receive the radiation treatment, you have to assume your immobilized position, and for me, this means getting into a mold that sort of fixes my legs, like I'm a frog about to be dissected in biology class. This isn't a stressful position. It's not unlike one a person would assume in various yoga poses, but today it felt unnatural. I very much wanted to protect my stomach by curling up around it, which won't do when you need to allow the radiation techs to zap a particular part of your pelvis. So I got in my frog position and I had my treatment, and then I came home, and all I wanted to do was take a couple Tylenol and curl up with a heating pad and wait out increasingly uncomfortable cramps. But just a few minutes after getting suitably curled up, my stepfather came into my room. He'd received a phone call from the hospital where my mother is a patient, and Mom was not breathing. Not sure there's a more motivational sentence than "your mom is not breathing." The hospital is about half an hour away from where I live, very happily. By the time my stepfather and I got to the hospital, Mom was on oxygen and resting comfortably. The crisis was over. And so we stayed a little while. And now I'm home again, and I'm about to finally curl up.
If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Also, don't forget to call your senators and your congresspeople to demand universal health care, and most importantly, don't forget to vote.